The dark one. I am in a state of shock staying at a hotel, in a total fog and not sure what to do. My wife and I have been married 3 years, but we were together for 3 when we were younger. We reconnected as adults and decided to really go for it. We fell madly back in love and got married and got a dog and a nice apartment and built a life together. There have been many good times and laughs and adventures. At times we've been happier than ever. There have been lots of rocky times too, adjusting to being adults together. Her family is really messed up and she had developed a binge drinking problem that at first was fun and exciting, but I feel stupid not seeing it earlier as a problem. Last year, after a few ridiculous nights where I basically became her babysitter, I told her I wouldn't support her drinking anymore and I quit drinking too. She was sober for 4 months, which was huge, but now it started to creep back in. We moved to a new state and before we left, her co-workers threw her a going-away party. I was tired because I had worked all day and had work in the morning, so said have fun. I woke up at 5 and she wasn't home. Texted and called with no answer for 20 minutes but saw her phone location as some random side street. She finally called and was obviously pretty intoxicated. Said she was having a big talk with her coworker. I said come home now. 40 minutes later he drops her off and she stumbles in. They were only parked 10 minutes away. And I was very upset and suspicious as she had a flirty thing going with this guy. But I'm open-minded but we were friends too, so I thought. I yelled at her. I hated her drinking. I'm sleeping on the couch. And what was she doing parked in the car for an hour anyway? I should have trusted my gut, but she acted like it was silly for me to think anything happened. Either way, I went to bed very upset, had to wake up early. We talked about it in the morning and she said she was very drunk and they were just talking about work and life and stuff before we moved and she was going to quit alcohol again and we made up. Has only drank a few glasses of wine since then. This was 2 months ago. We moved and put our new place together and started exploring our new town. She started having issues with her bladder and went to the doctor. Turns out she has chlamydia and did sleep with this coworker in his car that night. She claims she doesn't even remember and was blacked out and a friend had given her a meds. Now I probably have chlamydia. She is also not on birth control because I have a vasectomy. So, she could have gotten pregnant. I was livid and said a few mean things and then left the house to get a hotel. I came back to get some things and she had written a long note saying sorry and that she wants to spend her life with me and this was a horrible mistake. I texted her and said she needs to stay with family now. I need space right away for a while. She agreed to leave. I don't know if that's the right choice. I just felt so shut down and crappy. Then I left for the hotel. This morning at 5 I got a call from a hospital an hour away that she was found stumbling drunk on the side of the road. Her friend had come picked her up. They had got wasted and her friend was driving drunk, got pulled over and ran off, leaving my wife drunk on the side of the highway. They took her in an ambulance and I had to drive to pick her up. She was a hot mess driving home saying all kinds of things, but I am so numb at this point and feel like an idiot. Our lives are so tied together and we have so many mutual childhood friends and an apartment and pets. I'm so confused. I haven't even left the hotel bed since I got back. I don't even know why I'm posting. I called my brother, but I guess I just don't have many people to talk to. I don't want to smear her name and the truth is very embarrassing. I wonder if her friends knew and am tempted to ask. She says she doesn't remember it at all, but she said she called the coworker and he said yeah, it happened. I don't know if any of that is true. We've had our ups and downs, but I feel like I've been very good to her. I'm pretty stable and worked hard for our life. I feel like a chump. My comment, cheating after just a short time and then lying to you for ages, shows that she can't be trusted. As for sleeping with you afterwards as if nothing had happened and giving you an STD, that is just appalling. Sorry, but I would ask her to go. With that and her drinking, it's hard to see how this can turn out okay. She needs to grow up. Strange how so many people who cheat claim they can't remember what happened. It's one of the many lies they tell. Whatever you do, please care for the pets. It's not their fault what has happened and they will be confused and unhappy. OP responds, I guess I don't know if she remembers or not, but I don't understand how she could completely forget. I guess meds does that. So, I guess she wants me to forgive right away for that reason and instead be mad at her coworker or something. But I don't know what to believe right now. She's always been flirty, that's just who she is, outgoing and gregarious, and I always knew that about her, so I wasn't very controlling. I tried to trust her. She doesn't have a great track record with past relationships and I have my own baggage, but I thought we were something different. I mean, we got married. Maybe too rash a decision and now I am really screwed up about our whole story. She is taking the dog and I am keeping the cat. I am devoted to the pets and I know she will be too, but I am worried about what she will do if she doesn't really stop drinking. It's been a roller coaster. I guess I have my own bad habit too, weed, and drank with her for some time. But since it became really destructive, I've quit and committed to my own sobriety. She is now sending me all kinds of texts of what she's going to do differently, go to AA and get therapy and basically try to fix things, etc. I told her I hope she can forgive herself so she doesn't self-destruct with drinking. I sent her away to stay with her family with the dog so she has something to care about. She tried to put a time limit on it, 3 weeks, but I said I get as much time as I need. She is unemployed, so I handle the bills anyway. Then I said please stop texting, I need space. I guess I am prepared for a long process of figuring out what I want to do. I am in no hurry to reconcile. And now I have an STD to treat, which is just a nightmare. I guess I'm surprised at my lack of anger and feelings in general right now. I just feel kind of numb and dull. Maybe it's because we've already been here, had all kinds of fights and bad experiences with the binge drinking and the flirty, inappropriate relationships. I've put my foot down before, but change is always temporary, then it all sneaks back in. It's never gone this far, and I always trusted her and forgave her, but now I just have nothing more to say. I deactivated my Facebook. Makes me feel weird looking at all our happy pics and plans. I guess I'm just venting, processing, and I've literally been lurking on these channels all day, so wanted to reach out for some support and share my story. Honestly, she is unemployed now due to post-lockdown. She's always been a hard worker and contributed equally. But lately I have been paying for everything while she job hunts after our move. She worked in restaurants and wanted to get out because of the toxic environment. Her coworker was a chef there. Feels weird defending her, explaining, but we have a long story together, grew up together, and there were so many good times. Yeah, I do love her. We were each other's first relationship in high school. So, it's not like she's a stranger, we have a connection. The marriage has been a lot of highs and a lot of lows and complicated emotions. I can forgive her, but I can't just go right back to the way things were and carry on with our life plans. I also don't want to live a life constantly worrying and spying and doubting and not trusting. I feel like that will make me sick, and I have my own ambitions to focus on. So, I guess it would have to be an open relationship. I would have to expect that this will happen again, and maybe open that door for myself too, but that just sounds so messy and complex. She is saying she wants to change and will never do this to me again. But I just don't believe it. Why should I believe anything? The trust is completely gone. I feel like she made a fool of me and is now trying to make this part of our love story, that she gets better and we get back together down the road because of our big love. But what if it happens again? I'll be so messed up about it. I guess I'll take this time and see what I really feel. I thought we would be different and we were really swept up in getting back together. Obviously, she has some void she needs filled with attention. I can't fix that for her no matter how hard I tried, and it's been helpful to watch videos to remind myself this isn't my fault. I had her Instagram login and found months of messages. I screenshot them. Nothing explicit, but lots of flirty stuff, and a few times where she told him he needed to stop talking dirty and getting handy with her, that she was married, and he responded with he knows the boundaries. Guess that was BS. Also messages even just from a week ago saying she missed him. But that's typical of her. She's still friends with exes and has a lot of friendships and connections that I don't think she'd be willing to untangle if I ever told her to cut off contact. Headache. He was my friend too, or thought he was, and we'd all hung out together many times. I don't know if she'll really stop drinking. She literally got wasted last night, after I found out about the cheating, while she tried to blame the drinking. We drank a lot together when we first got together, mostly at bars and parties, and it was mostly good times, but I would see hints of her dark side. Then year 2 I quit drinking because I started to hate it, and she was definitely showing signs of being a binge drinking alcoholic, getting absolutely trashed for whatever reason and acting very inappropriately. I started to dread her drunk self. I hope she stops drinking for herself and the dog, and her niece and nephew who I grew quite close to. Now I am just thinking of myself and I can't believe what I tolerated, but now I know I just can't put up with any of that anymore, not even a drop. Especially knowing this is where it leads. The whole thing just grosses me out. I guess initially I am attracted to her outgoing nature. I'm more reserved, so I guess opposites attract. Over time it became a headache and a detriment, especially when I had to babysit her drunken alter ego. She took a meds and got wasted and blacked out apparently. But I spoke to her on the phone that night when she finally answered, and she was sober enough to lie to me and continue to concoct a story when I was accusing her of cheating when she finally stumbled home. I have a vasectomy, so a child isn't in my future. Yeah, I'm so mad it could have been herpes or AIDS. How disrespectful of my body and hers. And she has the gall to text me the day after D-Day with fantasies of getting back together and fixing everything. I am already preparing myself to be single. I can't just go back to this. My dad was an alcoholic and it ruined our family. She doesn't care and has put me through so much with it. Even if there is history and memories, there's a lot of trauma, and now it's all coming back to me. What I tried to forget and put behind us when times were good. The thought of not having to deal with any of this drinking and cheating and drama anymore feels liberating. It would feel like a relief and a breath of fresh air to not be biting my nails about any of this anymore, to just let it go and only have to think about myself. Our lives are pretty intertwined, and I always had access to her phone and messages. She told me everything, and I've certainly uncovered a few emotional affairs that went too far in my opinion, but not hers. Lots of I miss you and flirtatious stuff with friends and exes. There are obviously no boundaries with her. I never set them, and her need for attention seems to have no limit. I should have known. She did this to her last partner and told me all about it. Maybe I should reach out to him and tell him. I guess I just thought we had something special. We were best friends and very close. I've decided to call a lawyer tomorrow and start the filing process. Even though it is early days and she just left today, I want to make my stance clear and protect myself. And even now I just can't see us going back to what we were, or what I thought we were. What would that even look like? I'm going to be bitter and suspicious for a long time, and I doubt she will change the behaviors she needs to make me feel safe. She's addicted to attention and new love, lust. Maybe my fault for putting a ring on it. It was like we were on drugs getting back together. We were each other's first love. We took each other's virginities. Things have been kind of stale with us for the last 6 months or so. We transitioned into more of a roommate, best friend vibe, and the passion kind of waned with all these fights and negative experiences chipping away at my desire for her over time. Her lack of motivation without her job had her watching TV for hours and hours. She would get really horny when drunk, and over time I started to find it kind of repulsive and turned her down many times. I wanted sober bonding. Maybe I'm just not enough of a party boy for her. And actually, we haven't had slept together in 3 weeks now because of her bladder issue, which turned out to be an STD. I should have known this would happen. She kissed my best friend in high school at a party and I caught them. I was very upset. It was pretty traumatic for me. I figured our time apart and us getting back together and falling back in love would mean bliss and everything would be perfect. Yes, this has me rethinking believing in fairy tales. I guess it doesn't really matter now. This is her pattern of behavior, and if it was once or a buildup or different partners, I don't really care to find out. I thought I knew everything and all her secrets. She told me a lot, all her dirty adventures in our time apart, and I'm pretty experienced myself, so we were on the same level in a way, and she let me in quite a bit, and I'm open-minded, so we even used some of it to get turned on. But this blindsided me and definitely does not turn me on. I blocked her number and deleted my social media. Her friends are reaching out to me. I'm just done now. I need to start moving on today and have some respect for myself. She made me sick, not just physically but emotionally too, and I'm actually relieved to think of myself as separated from her right now. I don't think I'm capable of shouldering the burden right now of fixing her or working with her on her problem, with alcohol or attachment. I'm already realizing how much I've neglected myself working on our relationship and our future. She was a good partner in a lot of ways, but also it seems addicted to validation and physical attention and incapable or unwilling to draw boundaries or hard lines with other guys. Looking through her Instagram, it was almost daily communication with her coworker and very in-depth. Lots of "I miss you" and even "I love you." Flirty stuff. She was not drunk for a lot of this, just constantly communicating with other people. She has a million friends and is still in contact with a number of her exes. Is that normal? I'm not that close with any other girls or exes. I guess that's just how she is. Her family is super screwed up, so she has a history of making family of the people in her vicinity. She gets very close to people in short amount of time. I guess I liked that about her at first. My circle of friends grew a lot just from being with her. But ultimately, I see it now, there's no limit. She's a collector and it seems like she needs a plan B or plan C or whatever. She can't and won't let go. So, it's pointless to keep confining her in a marriage with me and expect something different from her. And maybe selfish of me to try. I'm letting go starting today. I'm having a tough time being back at our apartment. Pictures everywhere, plans, furniture, our cats, and the mental movies are making it difficult for me to focus on anything. I'm tempted to smoke a bowl, but I haven't touched anything in a while. I haven't drunk in almost a year and have no desire to. I hate alcohol more than ever now. I'm confused if I should stay in our new town or not. We moved to a new state just 45 days ago. For her to pursue college and to be closer to family, both our sets of parents live in this state. I'm tempted to quit our lease, pay any penalty just to get out. I don't know what I'm doing here and I want to be and stay far away from her. My work has all gone online but is still in my old state. All my connections and friends are there. I have no one here and my family is hours away. I don't know if I'm supposed to blaze a new trail and start a new life by myself here or just quit and go back where I lived for 13 years. I like it here but it's new to me and I'm alone now. Yeah, I don't know. She just went to Planned Parenthood and got tested and everything. I assume they would find out if she was pregnant. Maybe not. I have a vasectomy and the OM is black. I'm white, so I don't think paternity question would be an issue. I haven't really thought of that yet. I talked to my mom, who made the decision to divorce my alcoholic dad after 18 years, and she said I need to come home and talk to her in person. I've known her my whole life and will probably for the rest of it. Small town, so I can't do anything vicious like file papers and not make her my enemy. Talk to her face to face and don't waver. Make a firm decision and don't let her change my mind. I need to figure out what I want and state it clearly and move her out of this apartment and tell her to come get all her things ASAP. I can't leave open the hope of reconciliation any longer because it makes me a victim and leaves her in control. I want to formally separate and get out of this lease and move somewhere on my own. Her coworker is 12 years younger than me. I'm 34 and not partnered, but yes, I guess a player. I guess he lives back where I'm moving, but I'm not planning on staying in touch with any of her friends. We have mutual friends and I am pretty close with her sister and her boyfriend and her kids. I don't know what that's going to look like. Her sister texted me saying we're family and love me and they're here if I need them. But if I leave, what are they to me anymore? I'm leaving them too, I guess. I just can't imagine living with this anymore and need at least a big break. I am still tempted to see a lawyer and file for D right away, but my mom said I should wait till the dust settles and the apartment and separation are sorted out. To be kind so I don't end up in a prolonged fight with the person I've loved pretty much my whole life. I just really hope she doesn't plan on going back there too to be with the OM. I just had a talk with my other brother who was a lot of help and had a lot of kind words to boost my self-esteem about what a good and generous person I've been with everyone I love. I need to see my self-worth. I've given her a lot of chances, being her floor before she actually hits bottom. I'm not sure whether I should go talk to her in person or not like my mom says. Now I'm thinking I should just get a truck, pack all the things that are definitely mine, and go back where we moved from, where my brother and close friends are, and throw myself into my work and play. My brother says I should leave her things, contact her to tell her to come get them, contact my landlord to say I'm moving out and negotiate the terms and just bounce, and not tell her where I'm going. I need to put myself first for once. I am not one to wallow in pity, so I'm already sure I will take care of myself. I look forward to being in a relationship with myself only for a change. I have some money saved up so I have options. My family doesn't seem to think a lawyer is important right now, but I am taking all your advice and setting up an appointment this week just to get a professional's perspective and see what my best move is with that. Talking with my family today has been a huge help and reminded me of how they see me, not behind or connected with my partner but as me. I'm lucky to have them, and all you for responding to me and helping me work this out as I go. I think my mom has watched too many movies, huh? I have no desire to see my WW for a long time. I will make that clear through a text when the time comes, and I will talk to a lawyer to see what I should do. I don't want to be legally responsible for any of her further or recent mistakes. I want to be in control and draw my boundaries, and I instinctively feel my first step is extricating myself. Maybe I should gather all my things, get the move on, and then give her the choice to keep this apartment. I don't know what order I should do things in. I guess the lawyer will help me with that. Making some phone calls tomorrow. I've reached out to a lot of people today. My friends have my back. The replies on this thread and support from you all have really helped my thought patterns today, and I don't feel alone at all. Feels good. I will definitely be talking to a lawyer tomorrow. I guess I'll just Google one. I don't know if there are review sites or something, and I deactivated my Facebook. My gut says run. I feel like this is a wake-up call, and I've been sleeping, dreaming about peaceful days gone by and nice memories with our pets and adventures. We had a lot in common too, and I'm going to struggle with missing her as a companion. But I can't compromise myself and be with her like this anymore. I need to take this opportunity to make non-negotiable boundaries. My good friend has a place for me to stay in my old town, so I'll also start packing my things tomorrow. I need to get out of here and restart solo. I know I do. I set up a free video chat consultation with 2 different lawyers, and we'll see what I can figure out. I've made a lot of moves today, including finding an apartment I like in my old town, getting in touch with my former landlord so I can get his good reference, and packing a lot of stuff so I can get out of here ASAP. I'll send rent for October and let my current landlord know I'm leaving an abusive situation. Hopefully he has some compassion. I'd like to move straight into my own place so the cats aren't too traumatized. I am not even thinking about staying or getting back together, 0%. I am just focusing on the process and trying to keep moving forward on my own. Her friends are calling me today offering an ear, but I don't want her to know what I'm doing until all my ducks are in a row. I am a little out of touch with my emotions and anticipate they may come in waves and be difficult to deal with, but at least I have people on my side I can talk to. I need to stay until at least next week. We had just bought a new couch and they are coming to pick it back up on the 29th. And I guess I need to line up a moving company to help me load the truck. Some things are just too heavy for me. Or maybe I should come back in October to complete that process and instead take a drive to my old town to drop off my cats and car once I secure a new apartment. Not sure yet what order to do things in, but I'm figuring it out. Wow, I don't know what to expect, but I don't really care about things or money. I don't have much anyway. I would hope she has the decency to not make it too ugly. After all, I've done nothing wrong and never hurt her in any big way. If she turns on me, I am afraid of what she's capable of. Her drunk self has been violent with me before, punched me in the face once, threw a glass through a window once. I am intending to be out the door and on my way to somewhere she can't find me when I let her know to come get her stuff from the apartment. I'll do it all the same day in a week or so. I don't want a confrontation, especially if she's drunk. Where we stand now when we last texted is that I need a long period of no contact, and she is respecting that. When that turns into, I'm moving out and don't want to see her, I don't know what she's capable of, but I'm trying to not let fear rule me, and I will not be mean, just serious and direct. I am starting to paradoxically feel very thankful for this STD. Otherwise I would be with this person indefinitely, weathering the storms as they came, squeezing out drops of happiness along the way and thinking it was always going to get better. And I never would have known she did it in the backseat of OM's car that night. Would have been their dirty little secret forever. Thank God for this STD actually. Unreal. I'm doing 2 free video chats with lawyers in the morning. I'm going to be asking all about the divorce process. Even with just a few days to myself, it's like I'm climbing out of a cave. I didn't even realize what a suffocating environment I was living in anyway. I'm starting to feel like myself and feeling quite optimistic about my future. I read through my lease terms, and with a 60-day notice I can vacate. So likely will only owe for Oct and Nov and get my security deposit back. I paid it out of my bank account. I know I'm done. Maybe the writing has been on the wall for some time and I kept erasing it, trying to keep the good times rolling. It's unfortunate that even with a good partner like me, my STBX couldn't escape her old destructive patterns. I feel sorry for her, but I am also to feel pretty shocked and angry by how low she was capable of going. I can't believe she could lie so easily, and about something so nasty, right to my face over and over, and just pretend nothing happened. Who was I even with? Feels like a stranger now, an actress. She even had the OM over one last time before we moved so I could say goodbye and play guitar with him one more time. I bet it turned her on. Really grosses me out now that I think back. She's got some serious issues. I'm going to be aggressively taking steps away so I'm not the one who has to deal with them anymore. I put a deposit on an apartment in my old town today of $500. My credit is good and I have good rental history before I break this lease. So, I'll be out of here in a week's time and not looking back. My comment: what I'm getting at is that if he understood female nature, he would have avoided this kind of pleasing behavior. The move is to bring the girl into the man's frame, not catering to her every whim and desire. This sort of behavior lowers the woman's attraction toward the man. Doesn't guarantee that it will work because it depends on her attraction level. The guy seems like the perfect candidate to get burned again. I'm trying to show him some light. The why, not 20 steps after she cheated. If this helps one guy, it's worth it for me to try. I know a lot of guys simply refuse to accept it. I think it comes down to those fundamental beliefs that all other beliefs are built upon. The beliefs that stand alone without proof. They are accepted without demonstration. Part 2 coming in the afternoon. Let me finish my cooking and I'll upload the final ending.